All right, so guys, I'm recording tonight. This is Alex McMillan with Optimal Living 365, and we're talking tonight about the Thin It to Win It challenge. And I have a couple guests on with me, Sherry Perry and Gretchen Stevenson, and they're going to help out with maybe some questions that might still be lingering. Sherry's going to represent people who are in the challenge on the team, and that ultimately want to know, how do I get my friends invited? I've heard that there might be some technical difficulties with the server and that you're working on some problems with getting things fully operational, since there's so many people that have decided to join this challenge and have fun with us. And so I'm going to answer those, and then Gretchen's going to represent any questions from people who are kind of checking out the challenge, wanting to know what's it about, and after I explain it, what other questions are still there. So I'm going to start off by just saying, first off, very excited. Not happy that we have this problem, but happy that there's so many people that want to get healthy. We expect somewhere around 10,000 people countrywide to be on the challenge. And in our room, we expected around 2,000 to 3,000 people in our little group of people that I know. And it ended up being around 6,000 people decided to join. And 2,000 or 3,000 of those people just in the last 48 hours, which overloaded the server. And so now they're working with a new higher capacity server, but they have to optimize the site. And our start date was supposed to have been September 15th, for those of you that already know that, and it got bumped to tomorrow as a start date. However, we're still having technical difficulties, and they haven't called it or pushed the date out anymore. But there's still a lot of people who are saying, I can't upload my photos, and I can't get my weigh in, or I've done that, but I can't see myself on the team wall. So I could go on and on about all the little things that are not, optimized, if you will. But at the end of the day, it really boils down to the technical people are working on it as fast as they can, and I will let you know anything as soon as I know it. However, what I do need to know from you is what is the first and last name, the email address, and the phone number of anybody that you are trying to get signed up or that has, and specifically, what is the challenge? And I'm keeping a running spreadsheet log of that information and what the challenge is, and making sure that that gets handled as best we can. Now, having said that, I'm going to be moving forward and supporting people towards their health goals with or without this challenge starting technically or not. And I can tell you this, we are going to adjust the point system, adjust the challenge in such a way that it works out fairly, so that it's on par with what the expectations were, and that the full offering is still handled there. So the best thing I can say to do is, no matter what the challenge you're facing, if you're facing one at all, because you're trying to help, focus on the fact that you're getting somebody else healthy with you, and that you're doing this and you're ready to move your health forward, and we'll start that process. Now, everybody that you do bring on board, you will still get the points for once the technical situation's up. I, as a coach, have the right to petition an amendment to any points that were missed because of technical. I can put in a little thing that they will add those to the challenge if the system doesn't automatically do them as it is. The other thing is that let's focus on the positive of what we can do, knowing that your coach, me, is dynamic enough to help support that person with or without a challenge, okay? I've been doing this for many years, and I offer people weekly support, accountability, motivation. I've got so many resources at my fingertips, regardless of this website working properly or not, that I will help them start moving on their health, even if it's just getting them mentally, emotionally prepared to make this step, or just a few basic habits going forward. So having said that, the challenge is supposed to start tomorrow. I'm going to have another team huddle meeting for those that decide to get in tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock Pacific time, and it will be recorded. However, there's nothing like live to be on to answer your questions and to see the team. And then we're going to have our regular weekly team huddle on Thursday evenings at 7 Pacific time. So this weekend, kind of intensive on the video chat meetings, because I just want to give people the best start tomorrow. That's why I'm doing one the first day. And then, but weekly, and including this Thursday coming up, we'll have our team huddles on Thursday evenings at 7 Pacific time for anybody who would like extra support in answering those things. And then you always have the ability to call me or text me or Facebook message me. And so if you're not my Facebook friend, find me, Alex McMillan, here in Ridgefield, Washington, on Facebook. And the link to my Facebook is also at the bottom of my signature when I send you emails. You can find it there too. But I will send out a team invite to how to get onto that weekly team meeting, and for the one that's tomorrow night for you. And hopefully between that, you'll start to get a sense of clarity, a sense of focus after these first couple of days, and give it a week or so, we'll get into a rhythm of success, okay? So you can always reach out to me. My phone number is 360-600-2441, 360-600-2441 if you want to text or call me. And do give me a little bit of time to get back because I'm fielding a lot of people's information right now, but I will put you on the spreadsheet with what the needs are. Okay, with that said, Sherry, do you have any questions that are left over that you feel from people who are in the challenge already and that want to know things about what to do next or how to help a friend out that I haven't already covered?
Sure, Alex. I would say that the question that I've gotten from the people that are joining is, how long does it take? Lots of people are busy, and so when you log on to the challenge wall, there's lots of different ways to get points. How much time can you really say, hey, this is going to take you X number of time per day? And that's a big question.
Yeah, excellent. We've actually done the math on it. What we're finding is that people who have the best success on this challenge, okay, the best success, invest the time into their learning and into getting things. There are so many ways to get points on this challenge. You do not need to get all of the points. However, if you want to get all the points, just understand that every point that you get is another health if you will, it's another health habit in the bucket that you're working on. So if somebody maximized their points, like literally just went all out after it, they would spend an hour and a half of educating themselves on a weekly basis. So you could divide that up. It's 2 to 10 minutes per day is the way it works out per 7 days of the week. It's about 2 to 10 minutes per day of content that's available for you. With one time per week, there's a 30-minute webinar or 30-minute, webinar phone call that you can log into. So if you maximize and did every point you could get, you would have probably an additional 100 points over what the requirement is, maybe even 200 points over, because there's so many ways to get bonus points. And if you want to immerse yourself in the language of optimal health, I'd say out of a 168-hour week, give yourself an hour and a half. Go for it. Why not? You know what I mean? Why not put the time into you? You're talking about Operation You. So that's what I would say. The minimum time, now that's probably the other question. What's the minimum amount of time I can put into this and still finish it and say I'm a winner and get some money back? Because everybody can win money on this. Every single person. Last time you won money, right, Sherry?
Yep, I did.
I think you paid $20 and ended up getting how much back?
$25.42.
Yeah, so you made back, and you weren't the highest person on the team, right? You did an average amount. How much time did you spend per day, honestly?
I probably spent, on the days when there wasn't a video or an extra thing to watch, probably 4 to 5 minutes. It wasn't very long. I did enjoy the phone calls, though. I think they were very helpful, and it was a worthy investment of time, so I liked them.
Okay, so there you go. So you're looking at 4 to 5 minutes on short days, and then longer days, probably 10 minutes, and then the long day with the longer call, which is 25 minutes to 30 minutes. And then in a whole week, you're looking at an hour to an hour and a half if you maximized your time on this. Okay, any other questions on your side?
The only other question that I had, and it's kind of exciting for me because I have 6 people that are joining on our team, so I'm very excited about that. But I was hoping you could just share with everyone why that's so important, because it kind of struck a chord with me, which is why I have so many people on the call this time. So I thought maybe you could speak to that. That would be great.
I sure will. There's 2 things I want to speak to, and I think this is relevant for the people that are like Gretchen, who are just checking out the start of being on the team, and people who are already on. And that is, the goal is not to get you on this team. The goal is to help you move towards optimal health, to move towards looking, feeling, and living a habitually healthy life that becomes a part of who you are. And the only thing I've ever found out of all my years of practicing health and inspiring other people, looking at everything, researching, and just getting in there in the trenches with people in life is the only thing that I've ever found that truly, truly allows people to stay healthy is support and team. Other people in your life who are surrounding you. And you know what? This, unfortunately, also rings true for being unhealthy, which means if you surround yourself with unhealthy behavior people, you might be one of them, right? The chances of you getting healthy and staying healthy are really hard, okay, when you have a lot of unhealthy behavior. So how does a person that might have family members or certain social environment that's not the healthiest, either mentally, emotionally, or physically, logistically, with other food choices around or opportunities to have a lot of social environment? You know, business professionals, too, can be a lot of wine and dine parties. And if you have a family that just loves eating and that, okay, so well, I'll tell you what, you have to balance it. That's the only way. You have to have enough other social influence and friends that you enjoy that are also healthy focused, right? And it's about weighting the scales. And if you have the scales like this to unhealth over here weighing more than your healthy friends, I only got 1 or 2 friends that are immersing, and I'm not spending any time in those relationships. So really the key here with this challenge, let me take it back to the relevance here, is the time you spend chatting on the wall, getting to know other people, the time you spend coming onto a video meeting like this, going onto our secret Facebook group and posting in there, meeting people, maybe actually once in a while going out for a healthy lunch with somebody that you met in the challenge or doing something with another person. What that does, it's novelty, it's new. And when you do something new, your brain kind of has to be creative. It's not a routine or a rut. See? And when you hang around the same people all the time and you drive home the same way and you do things exactly the same way, you go into habit mode. You react and these stresses and triggers. But when it comes to new relationships, a new focus, well, this challenge gives you points for doing that. Every time you post on the wall, every time you come on a team huddle like this, every time you go and do an activity, invite another person to do it with you, every time you invite somebody to come and join the challenge with you, even if they don't join, you get points for that behavior. And what that does for you is it starts to create another self-image, a new upgraded self-image that I'm a healthy person that talks about health, invites other people to health, and guess what? Your circle of influence, those other people start seeing you as a healthy-minded person. They start all of a sudden reciprocating, hey, Gretchen, I found a healthy recipe online, because they know you're the person who talks about health. So if you're posting on Facebook kitty cats and other stuff, post some things about your health too. If you're posting on Facebook about your family, good, but post also about, oh my goodness, went on this really beautiful walk, or I did this really cool Zumba class, or oh my goodness, I'm doing this health challenge and I'm feeling great. That is a part of who you are. Don't hide that. So I gave you the challenge, Sherry. I'm going off on this one because it's so important. It is what's kept me healthy for all these years. A lot of you don't know I struggled with my weight as a child. I really did. And I got to a point where in my teen years, 17 to 19, I even put on another 25, 30 pounds over my adolescent weight, and I got close to 200 pounds. And for a guy who's only 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, you know, that's a lot of extra weight. And long story short, I dropped 50 pounds in about 6 months from changing my circle of influence in the group I was in. And I didn't know that at the time. So when I gave Sherry the challenge, she says, what's my step 3, Alex? I gave her step 1. She did that. Step 2. And she said, what's my step 3? I said, your step 3, if you really want to get healthy, is invite other people to join you on the journey of getting health. And it doesn't matter whether they say yes or no. Well, you did that, Sherry, and how many people, to maybe you're surprised or maybe not you're surprised, in the last 2 days have decided to join you?
6 people.
Just like that. Said, and were they mad at you for bringing it up and saying you're doing that? So how did you bring it up? What did you say? I'm just curious.
Well, I basically said I need some help. You know, I need an accountability circle. And for a couple of my friends, they were like, hey, I could use a little of that too. And so a couple of my friends on the challenge are in great shape, and some of the other friends are in different shapes, and we just decided just to be accountable to each other, and so we've got an accountability group, and so I'm pretty excited about it.
And so did for you, what do you think, and this is kind of a loaded question, but it's not, because I want to know the truth of it. What does it do for you, aside from just having me to always be that accountability person, by having your own circle that are not just me? What's the benefit to you?
Well, knowing that they're probably going to see this video, I will say that it's like you're setting up a little, like an armored guard or something, of people that are around you, that they're counting on you, and I don't want to let them down. So I want to be there to support them, and I know that they're there to support me. So I think it adds a little more pressure, but in a positive way.
No, that pressure is called support, and that support actually creates lift, and that lift allows a plane to fly and stay afloat, you know, and that is the key. I know for a fact you just summed up what has kept me healthy all of these years. That's exactly it. I've surrounded myself with a team of people, and I just do not shut up about health. Anybody that knows me, I just don't. And no, you don't have to be a fanatic like me. That's my personality. If you knew me, like Mama G on the call knows me, whatever I've done, I've always been all out about it. You know, it's just, that's just who I am, right? But I finally found something for me that it is a win-win, right? It's a win, absolute win. So thank you, Sherry. Any last questions from you as we move over?
No, we're good.
Okay, thank you so much. Does anybody else have any comments about anything Sherry said or something you want to ask about that? Either Gretchen or Ginny, who's on with us.
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm sorry I had things come up and I didn't see the email to come on, but I'm kind of in the beginning stages and I'm going on an adventure at the end of October, so I thought this was perfect time to start working out and trying to maybe lose 10 pounds before I do that.
Okay, excellent. Welcome aboard, Ginny. And I think that you found out about the challenge through my wife, Jill. Was that right?
Oh.
Excellent. And did she invite you? And when you saw the invite, were you excited to hear that? Were you skeptical? How were you feeling when you first saw the invite, and how did you hear about it?
I just decided the time was, the 6 weeks worked perfectly in my time schedule, and actually, I like Jill so much that it was kind of a way to keep interacting with her, too.
So excellent. And so here you go.
Inspiring person.
What's that?
A very inspiring person.
I'm glad you enjoy. You know her through Facebook. I mean, you know her from the past, it sounds like, but you guys have kept in touch through Facebook?
I worked at Milwaukee High School. I still work at Milwaukee High School in the counseling department. And
of course, she's retired full-time mama now, right? Or changed her career to full-time mom, I should say. Not retired, that's for sure. Right. Well, welcome aboard, and I look forward to getting to know you more as well.
Thanks.
Excellent. And Gretchen, did you have any questions for me that you think would either be relevant to what Sherry said or something new that you would like to know?
Well, I am just getting on board. I only just recently had an opportunity to view the videos, so I know only the very basics about what the challenge is all about. So I'm wondering, how is the best way to approach people? Do I give them a call? Do I, try to promote this in some way, or keep it very casual? What's a good way to approach people to join?
That's a great question. And what we found that really works and that works natural, and you heard from Sherry and you've heard from Ginny. Sherry was invited to this challenge. I invited her. She's a friend of mine. And then Sherry went ahead and just invited other people. Jill, obviously, is my wife, and I invited her, and then she invited a bunch of her friends, and Jill has about 8 or 9 friends that have joined the team. And what I find is that the people that are ready for something, they just go, thank you. What is it? They want to know. They are like, I've been waiting for somebody to say, hey, do you want to do something? But everybody's kind of waiting, they're waiting to be led in leadership. So there's not a whole lot you need to do other than say, hey, I'm doing this for myself. And I'm excited about it. And I'd like to have some other friends that I'd like to see if anybody else wants to do this with me. And then you just send them the link to like thefinititowinit.org. And we're going to be starting here this week. So people can sign up all throughout the week, even though the challenge is a 6-week challenge and officially is supposed to start tomorrow. You can literally have people come in because there's going to be enough bonus points to where they won't really miss anything. They'll just be a few days behind. You'll be a few days of healthy ahead of them. There's an email now that you've asked for it, and you're at this stage that was not relevant to you before, but now that you're making the decision to come on board, that I will send you, and it has exactly the template. And it gives you the words that you can say, or you can just say, I don't like those words. I'm going to change these words to my words. But it has the content of the video number 1 to watch, the video number 2 to watch, etc. And then they make the decision. There's no sale here. It's pretty much they watch it, they go, you know what, I would like to move forward. I really don't, and you don't have to be sure. I find that people want every single detail of everything. It's almost like you're kind of like trying to figure out what could be wrong with it, right? And a lot of times they may or may not get started. I find that the people who are ready for something, they kind of look at it and they go, you know what, it's $20. I have an opportunity to win that back. Great. The bottom line is I want to get healthy. And then what happens is if they need more detail, that's where you say, hey, I'll have Alex get in touch with you and send you more. And then I'll answer their questions like we're doing now. But it's pretty much a non-aggressive promotion. It's pretty much I'm doing it. I'm looking to see who wants to do this with me. Would you like information, or here's the information, and they either get back to you or they don't. Now, here's the other thing that is interesting. I'm finding that most of the people who join the challenge need about 3 to 5 interactions back and forth. Now, it's not time intensive, meaning they text you and say, hey, I'm interested, so tell me more. Even though you've given them the video, sometimes they want to hear your take on it. And so oftentimes, I find the simplest take is that just a simple answer. I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to do it with support and other people. This was a way to get 6 weeks of free coaching and accountability. And I'm looking forward to dropping this weight and feeling much better. That's enough. A lot of times that's all I needed to hear is that what's your reason for why? So when somebody asks you a question about how it works, I find that the best answer is, well, here's why I'm doing it. You know, how it works, then we're going to get a lot of support to help us with our individualized goals and our plan. And the videos should have done a pretty good job of explaining that. So what I often do with people, they still have questions, I say, hey, now that you've asked this question, go back and watch the videos again and see if now it doesn't make more sense that I've given you that little bit. And then when they do, they're usually more focused because now it's not like this mystery thing anymore. Their mind's actually looking to see really, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I get points for health. I get points for logging my food. I get points for going for a walk. I get points for watching a video that's going to help me with behavioral change. Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, that's perfect. I think if I go in with the approach that it's a win-win situation for both them and me, then that would be a good approach. So
absolutely. So I have an email here now that you've brought it up that I can put you on the list of people who's now thinking about inviting, and I'll give you that template. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
I think one of the things that I was concerned about when I signed on was the privacy issues, and you know, am I going to end up on everybody's list and get all these extra pop-ups and emails and things?
Yeah, and so do you want me to kind of speak to that right there?
Sure.
Yeah, so what's nice about this isn't like some big corporation that's trying to get your name to accumulate for a mailer. This is friends that have basically paid. We've paid a company, software company, to create a challenge for us. All of us that put this together are health coaches from around the country. And they're all friends of mine that I know. And we basically said, hey, let's do something massive. Instead of me doing my own individual challenge and you doing yours, you're a behavioral specialist, I'm a fitness expert, so-and-so's a nutritionist, so-and-so is a world-class like mindset coach. And instead of us doing all this independent stuff, which is all spokes on the wheel, let's come together as a team and let's make this challenge the hub, and each of us add value to people's lives. So what we did is we shot a ton of videos of Freeline content that we're going to be giving, spoon feeding as the challenge goes along. And every time you watch something, you get support. Now, where that email goes to is that email pretty much is ownership of us as the coach. We're not using it to try and send it off to a marketing company or anything like that. It's just for us to interact with you. So every email that you should get should either be directly from the challenge site that's relevant to you being in this challenge, or 2 from your coach interacting with you, or someone on your team that you've chose to give your email to. Now, if you do get an email from someone on the team that you did not give your email to, it's probably because they used the chat feature on the website of the thing. They can't see your email. All they can see is you, and they can message you. And that message that comes to you is sent as a link to your email. So it'll probably come from Meltdown Challenge, maybe from Gretchen. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But they're not getting your email. It's protected. So
great, thanks.
Oh, and then the last thing I'll say is If you submit your before pictures and your weight, and so first off, I have to give you a little warning here with this. If you use Facebook to log into this challenge, they give you a warning. Do not use Facebook to log into this challenge if you do not want all of your weights and stuff to be broadcasted on Facebook. So they say create your own username and login through this challenge. Some people are very public and they want that public side out there because that's just who they are. Go on Facebook. 80% of people on Facebook are pretty outlandish, but if they have prolific when it comes to like their personal life, whoa, okay. But I'm encouraging people not to use Facebook to log in because you can't control what's going to go out there. Everything you post will go into Facebook land. You don't want that. So use your private. So here's what I was getting at. When you submit your before picture with your scale weight and all that stuff, it goes into a private profile that only you can see and the judges that are basically going to award you at the end the prize can see. None of your before and after photos will get used unless you say, hey, you can use my before and after photo, and you have to sign a release to do that, okay? So that will not be used. I can't even see your before and after photo unless you posted it on the wall. Like you would know you're doing it because you'd be sharing it on there, okay? I cannot even see your weight unless you click the box that says share my weight updates. Now you're going to see mine because I'm okay with people seeing my weight. That's just me. I've gotten used to doing this right, whatever. But I'd say 80% of people aren't going to share their weight in this challenge. 20% probably will.
When you go to, like this evening, I was going to do my weigh-in, and where do I get the number that I'm supposed to use?
Yeah, so what happens is once you start in the challenge, there's a little thing that pops up when you go to log in. It says, hey, it's time for you to weigh in, and you click the little box, or you might see at the upper right-hand corner a little thing that says you have a message, like a little inbox thing. You click that, it says it's time to weigh in. You click the little button, and it's supposed to pop up this is where you go to log in your weight. It's supposed to give you a number, and then it walks you through step by step. Take a photo holding this number of yourself. Now that photo is up to you what you wear. But they do want you to wear something that does show the general contour of your body. It does not have to be super tight spandex if you don't want it to be. I don't want you wearing it as a parka. They just don't want some big overcoat on, right? And you do not have to be in bra and panties, okay? And guys, you do not have to have your shirt off. Some of you may choose to go in sports bra, tight spandex, or guys no shirt. You may choose that. It's not a requirement, okay? So you need that picture holding up the number. And then you need the picture of your feet on the scale, right, down there to show that. And that just shows you started this challenge at the date that it started, and you didn't start like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, and you're trying to do something. Now, one question you didn't ask that I want to clarify for people, this challenge is two categories that you can enter into. Each of the two categories has one main focus, and that is creating new healthy habits and behaviors. Okay, so regardless of which of these two categories you fall into, you only accumulate points for doing healthy behaviors and clicking that you did your food log, or clicking that you watched a video, or reading something about health and that. Now, but the two categories you enter into is either you're dropping 6% of your weight over the course of 6 weeks, which is 1% per week, which is very doable. So as an example, if you weigh 200 pounds, right, a percent of your body weight would be what? 2 pounds, right? So if you go in 6% times 2 is 12 pounds if you weigh 200 pounds. Does that make sense? So if you only weigh 100 pounds, you only have to lose half of that, if you will. And hopefully you're not 100 pounds and being in the weight loss category, depending upon how small you are. If you're 3'2", then maybe that's a problem. But the other issue really is this. The other category is the maintenance. Maintenance is for people who are at their healthy weight. They just want to maximize their energy and their habits of health and the accountability. So you're going to pick maintain my weight within 1%, okay? And you get points for health. So your goal is at the end of the challenge that you're going to be basically the same weight. You can be up to 1% higher, but not over, because that disqualifies you. Now, if you lose weight in the maintenance category, that's okay. They don't penalize you if you lost 3%. As long as you don't go over. So there's many people from the last challenge who are at their healthy weight now, but they love the challenge and the camaraderie and the team, and they just want to set their mind in stone that they are staying with this health thing, and so they're all choosing the maintenance category now. Or maybe it's a friend of a friend, and that friend is supporting. So I have a lot of friends who are at their healthy weight doing this, and they just want to basically be in it with their mother or their family member or so-and-so and learn a couple new tricks about health, right? So that's a little over and above your question, but I felt it was relevant for people who are interested in that. Are there any other last questions about anything logistically about this challenge or what to do next or something like that?
I don't think so.
All right, well, if you haven't started the challenge, what I would say is use the link, the sign-up link that the person's given you to log in. And what that does is that gives the person who invited you some bonus points. So don't just go log on the page, but use the link, and then it will link you to them, and they actually get some healthy points because you were inspired through them. And then the other thing here is that because of the server being upgraded, there may be some times of slowness for the next couple of days, and there may be some things where I'm still, personally, I'll be honest, I'm still having an issue with trying to get my weight to log in. I'm not sure what it is, but for some reason with my browser, and the technical people have said some people's computer configurations are having a little harder time. They're working on that. So in the event that that's you, all I need you to do is to let me know via a text or an email or a call what your name is, your email, your phone number, what your challenge is. I'll put you on my log to help the technical support, and then I'll make sure I give you the best support I can in the meantime, and then I'll make sure that you're not penalized because you didn't have that right away. And I'll give you like maybe some instructions of what to do next.
Does Chrome or Firefox work better than another?
Yeah, so what I've heard is that the site is optimized for Firefox and Chrome, is what I've heard. So those of you with Internet Explorer 9 or whatever may have some issues, but I think that that's like the third. But I think it's optimized the highest for Internet Firefox and Chrome. Mm-hmm. Browsers, by the way. And I know that you can also use it on your smartphone, but there may be some features that aren't as available using that way. And besides that, the screen's kind of small. So, all right. Last instructions here is how to maximize this challenge for you is stay close to the wall, look at it daily. Don't miss out on points that you can get. Some points you'll be able to make up if you miss a day, but there are other points in each day that you can only get for the day. Like you can only get the food log points in that day. So if you don't go in and click what you ate, there's little quick grab buttons, then you miss those points for the day. You can only log your water for that day, and so you don't make up the water from the last day. Now there is stuff you could have read or watched that you can make up if you didn't watch it in that day, right? So if you're ever in a time crunch, go for the things that are daily as quick as you can. Save the weekly things until you have time, right? And get them done at some point in the week. The other thing is you're going to look and see that on this team page, some of the people already have 20 points or 25 points. And you're going, hey, wait, how come they have 20 or 25 points already and the challenge hasn't even started yet? It's because they've been inviting a lot of people. And they get points for just inviting. So I got points for just inviting some of you. And then I get a point when you join. And the same thing has happened for them. And then there's been daily little ebook readings that you get 1 point per day for reading a little blurb from the ebook. And those are accumulating. So start racking up your points ASAP. And if ever in doubt, call your coach and I'll help you out. So any other questions out there?
Yep.
All right. I think we're ready to start getting healthy and moving it forward. So if you haven't signed up yet, use the link or request a link. If you need my email, it's Optimal Living. That's a mouthful. Optimal Living 365@gmail.com. And again, my phone number is 360-600-2441. And I look forward to what's next.
Hey, is that information on the website?
The information on the website, as far as my information, I have it posted as it's a tagged post on our team wall. So when you log in and you see our team wall, I have a tagged post that has my welcome email of what to do first when you log in. You want to read that through, and then you'll see my contact information in that welcome email.
Perfect.
All right, got it. All right, we'll talk to you all soon then.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Alex.